Good day, everyone out there. My name is Mr. Choron Ataba. I am your mathematics teacher. How are you doing today? Hope you are all fine. How is the lockdown? How are you faring? Wow, I know it's not a pretty exercise. However, for the meantime, we have no choice than to obey the government. As the COVID-19 situation develops, our hearts ache as we think about all the people around the world and the effects by the pandemic. I know that the lockdown situation is not what we planned for. However, at this time like this, the lockdown is the difficult choice we have to make. I believe we will surely overcome this pandemic. Please, for the meantime, maintain your proper hygiene. Wash your hand regularly under a running clean water with detergents. I repeat, wash your hands regularly under a clean running water with detergents. Use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Maintain social distance. Stay at home and stay safe. By God's grace, we shall be learning mathematics today. I urge you to sit down. If you don't have your pen, post this video, go get your pen and paper. Sit down so that you follow me as we proceed. Right. All right, I'll be going off the camera for now so that you learn this topic properly. Thank you. The subject we have today is mathematics, and the topic is statistics. Learning objective. At the end of this lesson, students should understand 1. Meaning and computation of mean, median, and mode of ungrouped discrete data. 2. Explain meaning of dispersion and define range, variance, and standard deviation for ungrouped data. Presentation of group figures. Class interval. Determination of class boundary from class interval and class mark. First, let's look at the definition of statistics. Statistics is a branch of mathematics dealing with data collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation. What are the branches of statistics? Statistics has 2 main branches. The 2 main branches of statistics are descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics summarize data. Inferential statistics make predictions. Both of these are employed in statistics. Both of these are employed in scientific analysis of data, and both are equally important for the study of statistics. Discipline. Statistics is a discipline concerned with analysis of data and decision making based upon data. Statistics help in the study of many other fields such as science, medicine, economy, psychology, politics, and marketing. Someone who works in statistics is called a statistician. In addition to being the name of field of study, the word statistic also refers to numbers that are used to describe data or relationships. Lesson 1. We're going to look at the meaning and the computation of mean, media, and mode of ungrouped discrete data. What is the formula of mean for ungrouped data? To calculate mean deviation about mean for ungrouped data, start by finding the mean of your data sets by adding all of the data points together and then divide by the total number of points. Finally, calculate the mean of the derivation by adding them together and dividing by the total number of deviation. What is the formula of mean for ungrouped data? Now, let us look at some examples and exercise. How to calculate mean derivation about mean for ungrouped data. In working with data, there are several different ways to measure how closely group your data value are. The most common is the mean. Most people learn early in school to calculate the mean by finding the sum of a group of data value and then divide by the number of value in the set. A more advanced calculation is the mean derivation about the mean. This calculation tells you how close to the mean your value are. Finding this consists of finding the mean for a data set, finding the difference of each data point from the mean, and then making the mean of those differences. Part 1. Calculating the mean. Let's assume these are the numbers we have. Remember, we're dealing with ungrouped data. What do I say? Ungrouped data. We're looking at the mean. Sometimes mean is just like finding the average of number. Another name for mean is average. Now look at this number on your screen right now. We have 6, 7, 10, 4. Sorry, I take that again. 7. We have 6, 7, 10, 12, 13, 4, 8, and 12. When you are given this type of ungrouped data, the first thing you should do is to add them up. Sometimes, to make it easier, because you are looking for the mean and median, what you do is rearrange them either in ascending order or descending order. However, since we are dealing with the mean, Here, you may not bother to rearrange, but to make your work easier, you can rearrange them. I take that again. When you have this type of ungrouped data listed like this, in a random, it is better you rearrange the numbers either in ascending or descending order. Now, when we check this number, we count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them in number. That's where you have n is equals to 8. I hope we're understanding this. N is equals to 8. N here means the total number of these variables. Each number here, each value here is called a variable. Good. Now, the first thing here, 1, collect and count your data, as I said here. Collect and count your data. That is the first step you should do. For any set of data value, the mean is the measure of central value. Depending on the type of data, the mean tells you the central value of that data. To find the mean, you must first collect your data, either through any experiments of some sort or just for an assigned problem. For this example, use the assigned data set of 6, 7, 10, 12, 13, 4, 8, and 12. This set is small enough to count by hand to find that there are 8 numbers in the set. Second point here is, in statistic work, the variable n, either capital N or small n, is commonly used to represent the number of values. Wherever you see that n as written up here, this n represents the total number. When you count them, put n is equals to either use capital N or small n. Now, lower is, we have this 6, 7, 10, 12, 13, 4, 8, 12. When you add these figures together, you will get 72. This sigma x is equals to, that is summation. Summation, the sum of x, the sum of those numbers, x. Okay, I will explain in detail so that you understand. So after adding, after collection, after you might have collect these numbers and you add them together, second, say find the sum of the data value. Yes, we have find the sum, which the sum is 72. The first step of finding the mean is calculating the sum of all the data points. In statistic notation, each value is generally represented by the variable x. Variable x. The sum of the values is symbolized by, that is, sigma x. This sigma x is the capital Greek letter sigma, signifying find the sum of the values. For this sample data set, the collection is sigma x is equals to 6 plus 7 plus 10 plus 12 plus 13 plus 4 plus 8 plus 12. When you add it, you can use your calculator to find out. You have 72. Now the next step, step 3 here, is divide to find the mean. Remember the first step, you collect the data, you count them, You have the number of the data. The second step, you add the sum of the number, and now the third step is divide to find the mean. Finally, divide the sum by the number of values. The Greek letter mu, which is this capital U, is a symbol. It's commonly used to represent the mean. Therefore, the calculation of the mean is, this is the formula. This mean is equal to sigma all over the number. When you put equals to, you have 72. Remember, when you sum all those numbers given there, you have 72. The total numbers are 72, and the numbers are what? 8. So we have 72 all over, right? When you substitute, then when you divide it, you have 9. Hope we understand how to find ungroup, the mean for ungrouped data. Now let's look at the part 2. The part 2 is finding the mean deviation. We're through with the finding of mean, then the part 2 of our lesson today is finding the mean deviation. Now let's go. Step 1. When you are trying to find a mean deviation, what you first do is set up a table. The first thing first, set up a table. Set up a table. To keep your data in good order and to help with the calculations, it is helpful to create a 3-column table. A 3-column table. Label the first column as X. Take your pen, start doing this practice as you follow. I said label the first column, create 3 columns. The first column is, just label it X. The second column is X minus U. This U here means the mean. Then label the third column as X minus U. When you put this, it means square. As it is shown on your screen, that label 4 there, just look at how I put the square. I hope you understand. Fill the first column with the data point for your calculation. Just do that, fill the first column. Then after you have finished this first filling the first column, just put in those numbers there in the first column. Then the second thing is calculate the deviation of each data point. I'll take that again. Calculate the deviation of each data point. In this second column, which you have labeled X minus U, remember your U is the mean, you will report the deviation or difference. Deviation, another name for deviation is what? Deviation is what? Difference. Difference between each data point and the mean of the set. Find the value simply by subtracting the mean from each data value. That takes us to points. The next point. Remember all those 5 the points I'm putting there. Take notice of that. For the sample data sets, this derivation will be, remember the first column are the number listed, and I'm talking about the second column here. The second column here will be, remember the letters are 6, then minus 9, our mean is 9, minus 9, which will give you equals to what? Minus 3. 7 minus 9 will give you minus 2, 10 minus 9 will give you 1. 12 minus 9 will give you 3. 13 minus 9 will give you 4. 4 minus 9 will give you minus 5. 8 minus 9 will give you minus 1. 12 minus 9 will give you minus 3. To check the validity of your calculation, the sum of the values in this derivation column should be 0. Add them and you'll find out. If you add them up and get something other than 0, then either your mean is incorrect or you made an error in calculating one or more of the deviation. Go back and check your work. Hope you're following. Are we following? The third thing here I want us to do is find the absolute value for each deviation. Find the absolute value for each deviation. Finding the absolute value for each deviation. When you calculate the deviation of each data point from the mean, you are concerned only with the size of the difference and not whether the difference is positive or negative. What you really need then is mathematical terminology. Is the absolute value of the difference. Absolute value is designated symbolically with the vertical bar. Vertical bar. These are the vertical bar. Check 6.6 here. This is vertical bar. Please take note of this green letters I put in bracket there. Absolute value is a mathematical tool used to measure distance or size regardless of direction. I tell that again. Absolute value is a mathematical tool used to measure distance or size regardless of direction. To find absolute value, just drop the negative sign from each number in the second column. Thus, fill the third column with the absolute value as follows. Now look at this column. The column has scattered somehow because of this thing is not aligned with what I have here, because when I turn it, however, look at it. This is column 1. This is column 1, which is x. Column 2 is x minus u. Remember our u here is what? It's mean. Yeah, you get it. And then we have x minus u. Then separated with the vertical bar. Then in this vertical bar, it means it's separated with the vertical bar. Are we together? Now, what we are saying here is the first column, the second column, remember there is a minus, the second column, then the third column, remove the minus. Regardless of there is minus or not, it is, we have an absolute, we need an absolute value. So the difference between the second column and the third column is the removal of the negative sign. Hello? Yeah. The fourth point here, we're going to consider calculate the mean of the absolute diversion. Calculate the mean of the absolute deviation. After completing your 3-column table, find the mean of the absolute values in the third column, as you did to find the mean of the original data points. Add the derivation together and divide the sum by the number of the value. This data set, this final calculation will be when you put this, remember our absolute value together, that is 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 3. When you sum it together, you have 22. Remember, we divide it by 8. The total number of the total numbers here is 8, and when you do that, you have 2.75. 22 divided by 8. Please do that. Take a pen, take a biro, follow. Remember, this is mathematics. You are not just sitting down to listen to this video, but you are also going to do your practice. So please do yourself good by pausing the video and practice what you have just learned. Do that quickly and make sure you are following. If you are not following, that is why the message in the video, you are at liberty to post. Go back again, over and over. Remember, practice makes perfect. You can post it, read it on your own. Read the point. That is why I take the pain of writing it out for you to follow. If the audio message you're not understanding, then read it out yourself and make sure you follow step by step. Remember, this video is not for fun. It is for study. It's for you to sit down and learn. Remember, you are doing some studies, not just reading for the sake of reading. Say thank you about that. Let's proceed. Then the 5th thing we are going to look at is what? Interpret the result. The interpretation of the result. That's what I mean. Interpret the result. The value of the mean deviation above the mean is the measure of how closely grouped your data value are. How closely grouped your data value are. It answers the question, how close to the mean on average are the data value? For example, with this data set, you can say that the mean is 9 and the average distance from that mean is 2.75. Note that some numbers are closer than 2.75 and some are farther. But that is the average distance. That is the average distance. Okay. I hope we're following. In case if you're not following, you go back to the lesson again, pause and start from the beginning again and follow. Now, I will answer some of your question and answer time. Question 1. What is the mean derivation of 4, 8, 5, 12, 23, 45, 8 and 7? Remember what you're going to do. Take your pen now. Before you look at this answer, the community answer, what you should first do is do it on your own and then come back and check if your answer is the same thing with our answer. If your answer is the same thing, bravo. If it is not, don't worry. Follow the example and then you will answer the second question. Now, the first thing is get your formula, which is what? Summation x, which is sigma x, is equals to what? X all over n, where x is the value. Hope you get that. And then the summation. So now mean is equals to what? Summation x all over what? N. Now summation x, put 4 plus 8 plus 5 plus 12 plus 23 plus 45 plus 8 plus 7 together. What we're saying is add them together to get the mean of what? 14. Subtract each number minus 14 and find the absolute value of this difference, which is 10, 6, 9, 2, 9, 31, 6, 7. Find the mean of this derivation by dividing by 8. Thank you. Question number 2. I hope it's helpful. Question number 2. What is the mean deviation of the set of data 7, 6, 3, 4, and 10? Answer. Find the mean. That is when you find the mean, which is 7, 6 plus 7 plus 6 plus 3 plus 4 plus 10 divided by 5, you have 6. Find the absolute difference of each number from the mean. That is the absolute value. Now, when you find the absolute value, I'm jumping those steps because I expect you to follow step 1, example 1 above, and then you do same. When you do it, what you are going to get, this number will be what? 10324. Find the mean of this difference. When you do that, when you put 1 plus 0 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 together and you divide it by 5, you have 2. What do you have? Your answer. If it is 2, bravo! Then you clap for yourself. If you don't find, if your answer is not 2, go back again and then make sure you check it properly. Question number 3. What is the mean deviation about the mean of the following data? The data are 1, 3, 7, 9, 10, 12. Now, remember the first thing you do is to find the mean. And when you find the mean, that is, you put together, what you will see is the total numbers are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 numbers altogether. When you add everything together, you use the formula mean is equals to summation x all over n. You have 42 divided by 6, which will give you the mean is 7. You have a problem with that? Hope there's no problem. All right. Find the derivation from the mean of each data point by subtracting each value minus the mean. Each of this value now, when you subtract 1 minus 7 and 3 minus 7, 1 minus 7, you have minus 6, 3 minus 7, you have minus 4, 7 minus 7, you have 0, 7 minus 9, you have 2, 7 minus 10, you have 3, and then 10 minus 12 minus 7, you have 5. Take the absolute value. The absolute value. Remember, when we talk about absolute value, there's no thing like minus again. The absolute value will become 64. Remember here, the values are minus 6, minus 4, 0, 2, 3, 5. But the absolute value are what? 6, 4, 0, 2, 3, 5. Find the mean of the derivations. Now, when you put it together, you have 6 plus 4 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Divide by 6, then it will be 20 divided by 6, which you will have 3.33. Do that yourself on a piece of paper or in your exercise book. Please do it inside your exercise book, a comprehensive exercise book. Get a notebook for your lesson, mathematics lesson. Question number 3. Remember, these are exercises. I'm giving you a lot of questions so that we do it together. We do them together, and then there are exercises I will give you that you do it as your assignment or classwork or homework, whatever you call it. How can I calculate the mean deviation of a specific set of number? Answer. To find the mean deviation, you must first find the mean of the set of the data. Next, you find the distance between the mean and each number. For example, if the mean is 5 and a number is 7.6, the distance is 2.6. Note that there will be no negative distance as stated in the rule of the absolute value. Then find the mean of this distance and you have your mean deviation. Thank you. Next question, what is standard deviation? The answer is standard deviation is similar to mean deviation, but you cannot treat them as equal. The standard deviation uses the deviation value as in this article, but then square them, finds the average and then the square root of their value. For more on standard deviation, see the WikiHow article on how to calculate that. That is where we got this material from. Next question. Are distinct probability accounted for in the mean derivation computation? If you have set A is equals to small letter A, B, C, D, and A corresponding set of probability is B, E, F, G, H, then the standard derivation is the probabilities multiplied together. Next question. How do I calculate group data? Group data. How do I calculate group data? Group data means that instead of having individual value in your data set, you have group and frequency. For example, you may know that there are 8 scores from 1 to 10, 7 scores from 11 to 20, and 6 scores from 21 to 30. To find the mean of grouped data like this, use the central value of each group. In this case, 5, 15, and 25. Multiply those central values by the frequency of data in the group. So, find 5 times 8 will give you 40. For the first group, 15 times 7 is 105. The second group, and 25 times 6 is 120 for the third group. And this value, 40 plus 150 plus 105 plus 150 equals to 295, and divide by the total number of points, 21, to find the mean. Thus, 295 divided by 21 is equals to 14.0. This mean of this group data is the mean of this group data. Next question. How do I find the mean deviation about mean and standard deviation of the following series of values? A, B, A plus B, A plus 2B plus 2NB, then N0. This is clever because you are given variables instead of values. The work, however, is the same, but you have to work with symbols instead of numbers. You have 4 terms, which is A, AB, A plus 2B. When you calculate them, 1, 2, 3, 4. A, I take that again, A, you have, then you have AB, then you have A plus B, and you have A plus 2B. I assume you copied this last one incorrectly, since A plus NB doesn't make sense. The mean of this thing is, when you put it in bracket, you have A plus A plus A, A plus B plus A plus AB plus A plus 2B. And when you divide it by 4, you have 4A plus 5B. Divide by A equals to A plus 1.25B. The difference of each term from the mean are 1 plus 25B. Then you have 25B. You have 75B, 75B again. Then the mean of these 4 difference is 1.25B plus 25B plus 75B plus 75B is equals to 4. Divide by 4 is equals to 3B. Divide by 4 is equals to 0.7B. Next question is, how do I calculate a mean for the derivation? You can't without more information. The formula is def. That's def is equals to sum bracket upon x minus mean all over n. You can rearrange this a bit to get n times def is equals to sum times x minus mean. To go any further, you need to be told the value themselves. What is the mean derivation of the following number? You have 2, 5, 8, 9, 12, 13, 18. First, you have to find the sum of the given data and then divide the sum by 7. 7 is how many numbers are given in the data. By dividing, you get 9.57. Alright, these are our answered questions, which I take them as an exercise for you. How do I calculate mean derivation for the given data? Take this down and make provision for your answer. I'm expecting it. This is your classwork, or we'll call it an assignment. Make sure you do it, and then I will submit it back and we'll mark it. What is the possibility to find the mean derivation of many entities in a data set? How do I find the mean derivation? How do I calculate mean derivation for me? How do I find mean derivation? What formula do I use? What is your question? Now, what do I mean here? Show me on answer question. What is your question? And if your question, if you have any question you want to ask, please write it. Not too more than 200 characters. Write. You can email or you send it through the WhatsApp group, or through the means you got this video, you send it through the same medium, either through the WhatsApp group, the school WhatsApp group, or how you get this. Please, Lord, make sure you do my assignment, you send them back to me. It's an interactive class. I need to mark it and then send your scores back to you. Remember, please stay at home, stay safe, wash your hands, and make sure you do your homework. Thank you.